I surely can. Great. Great. Good morning. All right. I think I am live. Let me confirm this. I am live. All right, everybody. Good morning and welcome to David's Deep Dive. Today is a great presentation because today I am going to go through something that's really near and dear to my heart. Doing versus thinking. Now, if you haven't watched one of these before, my name is David A. Perez. I have been a business owner, entrepreneur, and we'll call it coach for many years. And over the course of that time, I've developed a lot of skills. One of those skills is the ability to take ownership of my life, what I call building your own economy. And I wrote a book on it. It's one of my favorite concepts. It's self-reliance, self-responsibility, self-growth. These are all things that really build an economy that is unshakable. Nothing can destroy. It's a matter of comparing yourself to your house versus the White House. The only thing that's really important is what goes on in your house. And today we're going to talk about something that's really cool and very, very insightful into something that I think can help benefit you, your business, and your life. Now, today I've had the opportunity to share this on Facebook. So if you're watching this live, you can also register. Every week I do this live, 9 a.m. CST every Tuesday. So if you want to join this. All right, today is going to be a short presentation, but it's going to be very powerful because it's one of the concepts that I think has helped to shape and mold most of the careers of the successful people in the world. All right, so there's this concept, what I call doers versus thinkers. Doers versus thinkers. So really a doer is somebody who gets the job done based on a set of we'll call it instructions, right? I give you instructions, you get the job done. This is a doer. A thinker is somebody who says, give me the instructions and I may or may not find a better way. Now, see, there's two different people in the world, and I'm here to tell you that either one, at one time in our lives, we've been on both sides of this thing. We've either been doers or we've been thinkers. Now, why did before we even get into this concept, let me just kind of tell you why this came to mind today. You see, I had the opportunity, I'm blessed, honestly, to lead a team. I have a large team, a large organization, and that team has a lot to do with either the success or the failure of a company, the results that are produced, because I don't even think there's success or failure, there's just results. And a lot of the time today, I find myself trying my best to coach and train and develop the people on my team, right? Just so y'all know, that's the job of a leader, to influence that presence, right? To influence the ability for them to grow. And constantly I'm challenged with this notion that I must come and show up every day to help them get better. Like that's like the thing that I'm challenged with every day. I got to do this. I got to show up. I got to deliver. I got to show up. I got to deliver. I don't show up for me. I show up for them. Like that's my belief. I do it every day. There's nobody who could argue that on my team that I don't show up, right? Like that's my deal. And I hope to do that the rest of my life. I don't want to let people down. And I definitely don't want to let people fail. So when I think about this concept, I'm always thinking, okay, how do I get my team to grow? And the challenge there being is sometimes we want to help them so much that it holds back their growth. And let me explain to you what I mean, right? Sometimes you give people assignments and then you hold their hand to get the assignment done, right? I know I've done that so many times when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the accounting department that I run, or when it comes to our tax business. Sometimes I'm probably the worst enemy of somebody in our company because I typically will hold their hand so much that they get used to it and they get babied, right? And for many years, I think that was my tax. I have a tax business that's pretty large, and for many years, I've told myself, man, I can't find a really good, I can't find really good people all the time. Like I have really good people now, but how do I get more of them? And I've realized that the reason I can't always get good people that join our team is because I babied the people on our team. And they may not feel that way, but I have. Like if I help you more than you need, that's what I call babying. Like when I answer your questions, that's babying. Why? Because there's more information in the world today than ever before. YouTube, Google, you can use Yahoo, you can use any search engine in the world, and you're going to find the answer. But yet I'm the one that people come to when they want the answer, right? So this is me babying people and not making them do the things or being resourceful that they need to be. So when I thought about this concept today, it was really about me trying to help my team get better. And some of my team members are on here, which I'm very blessed to have. And I hope that they understand this concept at a high level. And if you're watching this and you're a business owner, this will help you and your team. And if you are the business owner, it's going to help you just understand these things. So let's dive deep into this, okay? So a doer is somebody who follows a step of instructions, gets the job done. In my opinion, these are people who just check a box, right? They have a list of tasks for the day and then they check the box, right? There's no real thought or strategy approach to the day. There's no real, there's no real insight. It's just really step A, step B, step C equals results, right? A to B, if you will. And I see this happen in a daily basis. Anywhere you go to a restaurant, you go to a supermarket or grocery store, you go anywhere, and you're going to see employees or team members that are going to just get the job done. They're doers, right? They get a specific set of instructions. Typically, these are the people who follow what we'll call their job description, and they just get to the job and they get the job done, right? They're just like, I get it done. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I just get the job done. I'm sure there's some people who do less, right? But let's just talk about the perfect world. They just get the job done, right? They say, here are the ingredients to make a shake. Here you go. Okay. And they do this. They do this so much. And there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. The world needs doers. And these are people that actually get the job done. And it is probably the thing that really is misunderstood in the world today is that doers really don't get very far because all they do is do, right? They do. And there's nothing wrong with doing. I'm just telling you, they just do. They're just doers. They get the job done, but that's it. And most people to advance anything in life, they don't just do. I mean, imagine if you're probably either married or have a significant other or had one of the others one time in life. When you start dating someone, typically it doesn't matter what side, right? But both sides of the equation, men and female, or whatever the sex is here, when there's two people dating, they typically go above and beyond for each other in the beginning stages in order to win the other person over. This happens all the time. I used to always think about my wife before we got married, right? I would give her flowers and I would talk to her about things that probably I don't talk about as much anymore. I would, I would take her to dinner often. We'd go out on dates. Like all these things that I don't really do as much anymore. Why? Because I was trying to win her over. I'm trying to get I'm trying to go above and beyond. And that's called, that's part of the courting process. Now, what if I didn't do any of that? What if I just showed up to the dinner, like, hey, Friday night, let's go to dinner, and just show up to dinner, right? And then after dinner, I didn't call her. I just say, hey, next Tuesday we'll meet. I'll see you there at 7:00. Okay, cool. So I don't talk to her between Friday and Tuesday. I show up at Tuesday, like, hey, how was your week? Great. Okay, cool. Then I don't talk to her for a few more days, and so on and so forth, right? Like it only was the doing, right? Getting to dinner, right? Getting to the event, whatever it is, right? It's just doing. And what's wrong with that? Doesn't that sound interesting or exciting? It surely doesn't, right? So the difference between a doer and a thinker is the middle, right? So when I go to dinner, or when I went to dinner for the first time with my wife, what did I do? Maybe I took a flower. Maybe I asked a few deeper questions. When we left dinner, I said, it was really great seeing you. When can I see you again? And in between the step between I was going to see her that time and the next time, what happened? I was like, hey, let's chat on the phone. Let's send each other messages. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's get to know each other. I'm thinking about her. Then I noticed that her favorite flower is, I noticed her favorite food is, I noticed her favorite color was, and so on and so forth. These are the thinking parts of the doing. And when you start thinking about it, like for customers, for an example, if you're trying to work with customers, doing is in our business, let's say getting their taxes done, right? Doing is getting the taxes done. Thinking is trying to find ways to get their taxes done at a more efficient way, or to save more money, or to get more money, right? Like if all you knew was all you knew, you could never get any further. Like you only know so much. And if you don't expand upon that knowledge, what happens? You just know only what you know. Your mind is only as big as you allow it to be. And if you never allow it to get any bigger, then you don't get to know your customers. You don't get to know the tax code. You don't get to know the loop. I can't say loopholes because that sounds really negative, but the nuances, the things that could be different, and that can teach you to do something better. So let's talk about the thinkers. Thinkers are people who actually think. This is important. This is how people actually elevate themselves to the next level in business, because I see a lot of doers in business today, people who get the job done and they expect to get paid more. I get the job done, David. You should pay me more. Well, like just doing doesn't get you paid more. Thinking gets you paid more. What do I mean by that? When I give somebody a task and they actually do more than I ask of them, right? They start thinking about ways they could do it more efficiently. They start thinking about strategy. They start saying, hey, we should probably do this differently. Hey, we need to do more of this. Hey, we have found a better way to get this done. We should probably partner with, we should probably join. We should probably figure this out. We should think about this new opportunity. Like these are the people who get ahead. It's the thinkers, not The doers. The doers, everybody needs one, right? Everybody needs somebody to get the job done, but you'll always do the same thing over and over and over again until you get a thinker. And you'll find ways, as they say, to work smarter, not harder, to be more efficient, right? To get leaner, to get ahead, right? You all and I know this inherently, right? We know this. It's like if you've only driven one way to your destination, right? You've always driven this one route, this one route, this one route, and it takes you 15 minutes. And then one day you're just like, let me turn on the GPS and see what this tells me. And then you realize that there was a shortcut by going just left, and instead of right on the first turn, you go to the next one, you make a right, and it takes you 5 minutes less, right? Because you thought, maybe I should check the GPS to make sure this is the fastest way, right? Every time I'm going to the airport and I'm running late, I always turn on my GPS, even though I know where the airport is, to find the fastest route. Why? Because if I know a better route, I should take it. That's a thinker. A doer says, I go the same way. And I see this every day in business, right? They just go the same way. We follow the same procedures. We never change anything around here. This is the way it's always been, or this is how they told me to do it. And that's all I'm going to do. I love people who think, because they actually make business better. They make organizations better. They make families better, right? People want to know how to solve their problems when we are in the information age of a lifetime. Like, there is not a time, even yesterday, just to be clear, there's more information in the world to solve your problems today than there was yesterday. There's more information in the world to solve your problems today than there was yesterday. Now, see, doers get the job done. Thinkers solve problems. Thinkers solve problems. Problem, I'm running late. Is this the fastest route? Problem, I don't think we should be working this many hours to get this one little task done. There's got to be a better way. Technology, I found it, right? You see, the technology typically solves big problems, and that's why people pay a lot of money to get it done, right? Like when people said, hey, I love watching cable, but we have all these commercials. Somebody says, I think that we should get rid of commercials by using services that only play video. Well, we got to pay for that, right? They call it Netflix, or they call it, on demand. You see how that works? Like, people now understand. Thinkers get that on-demand process, and doers just watch TV. Now, in business today, in order for somebody to come to a business and say, I deserve more money, I deserve more opportunity, and if that business doesn't give it to them, right, just to be clear, they can always find another one. But the only way that's going to happen is if they're a thinker. Doers, they go from job to job to job, and they never get ahead because all they do is do. Right? They stay in the same position forever, and they're wondering, well, why aren't they keep passing me up? Why aren't they giving me opportunity? Why aren't they making me a manager? Why aren't they giving me a leadership role? Why aren't they paying me double what they deserve? How did that person get there and I didn't? You see, all of these things come to their mind, and the reason they're thinking this way is because they're just doing. They're not thinking. They are not thinking, and thinkers get compensated more, get recognized more. They get opportunity more. They get all of these benefits by just going out into the world and thinking about what they're going to get done. See, the best teachers in the world, teachers, educators, right? The best teachers and educators, they don't just show up and just follow a plan. They connect with the children. They find better ways to teach. They look for opportunities to get better. And they're like, I got to do this for the kids. I got to do this for the kids. The crappy teachers, they just show up and follow a lesson plan. They go home and they say, I can't wait for the summer, Christmas, or Thanksgiving break. See, that's what teachers do, right? And that's good teacher versus doer teacher versus thinker teacher, right? The best tax pros don't just do taxes. They find ways to get the best credits, to get the best opportunity that ends with an outcome of either lower their tax liability or getting your bigger refund. And you know how they do that? They study, they educate themselves. They learn through every tax return. They learn through every communication channel. They continue to improve. Get that? The best marketers in the world, just to be clear, this is for my marketing people, and I have some of my marketing team on here. The best marketers in the world, they don't settle for what they know. They buy books on marketing. They increase their ability to market through learning experiences. They attend events, they sign up for webinars, they go to, you see, like this is the way they do it. They get in front of people who are better at marketing. If you want to get better at anything, there's somebody out there that does it better than you, and you just got to learn from them. You got to put yourself in a position to get that knowledge, either through a book or a webinar or a video or something. I'm a thinker by nature. I'm always trying to find a better way. I'm always trying to solve a bigger problem. I'm always pushing on things, right? Like that is who I am. And that's why, by the way, there's no coincidence that I'm the leader of a company. There's no coincidence I'm in the position I am today. Now, that doesn't mean I'm happy with where I'm at. I guess I am happy. It doesn't mean I want to stay here. Let's just say that, because there is more thinking to do. There's more thinking to do. Now, if you're waiting for somebody to come do your thinking, that means you are a doer. If you're waiting for somebody to tell you how to solve the problem in your company, you are a doer. If you're waiting for somebody to come hold your hand, you're a doer. If you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting stressed out about it and never wondering or always wondering, there's got to be an easier way, but I've never figured it out, you are a doer. If you're a thinker, every day you show up to the job and you're like, dude, how do I get better at this? How do we improve these things? What can I learn? Is there a webinar? Is there a training? Is there a book? Is there a YouTube video? Is there a Google search I can run that will make me better in this position? Because I found myself many times forcing, like recently I had my team read a book. I said, and this was about 2 months ago, and it changed a lot of the dynamic of how they thought, but I forced them to read it. See how that works? I forced them to read it. So are they doers or are they thinkers? Maybe it inspired some thinking, but it's probably more doing because I'm forcing them to read the book. See that? I'm forcing them to do the work. You know, nobody's going to get you out of bed every morning and get you to the gym. Only you can do it. That's a thinker. How do I get up earlier? I'll give you a good example, and then we will end for today. Okay, here's some examples. You see, I believe that the best way to get ahead is to plan. You don't get ahead by accident. You don't make more money by accident. You don't get anything without accidents. Everything is planned. Regardless if it was planned or not, you had a plan, right? Even if you know it or not. And I hear a lot of people tell me that the morning is the toughest time for them. To get to work on time is tough, right? To get breakfast in is tough. To get to the gym, it's tough. To get the kids to school on time, tough. These are all tough tasks for them, right? They're like, it's very difficult. I stress out. I'm always late. I can't figure out how to do it. I'm not ready. You see how that works? Like people do this. And I know some of you do this, right? You're like, I'm stressed out about the morning. The morning comes, it comes and I'm just always behind, right? Everybody runs to this, but there's always like 5 things in the morning that they do that they could have done the night before, but they're just doers. They're not thinkers, right? Like when I know I have a real busy day, the next day, the night before, I'm making sure my clothes are ironed. I'm making sure my things are washed. I'm putting my pre-workout already on the counter. Like I'm getting my breakfast already ready so that when I get home, I just cook it, right? I'm getting things so much ahead of time. I'm looking at my calendar. I'm marking off the things. I'm pushing hard to get ahead because I'm a thinker. And I'm always looking for ways to get ahead. Like I'm looking for a hack. I'm looking for a cheat. I'm looking for something, right? Like I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing because I'm a thinker. And some people get to the morning, they're like, I wonder why there's got to be an easier way, but I don't know it. So I'm just going to go through this, right? Like if you don't have your clothes ready, you're not going to get up like for the gym, right? If you don't have your gym clothes ready, you can't go to the gym because you're already like 10 minutes just finding what to wear. You see that? Like this is the doer. This is, I just got to do. So the only way I know how to do it is to get my clothes ready when I just need to get them and to start cooking breakfast from scratch and just to get my kids off at this time instead of just, you know what, I need to wake up 15 minutes earlier and I got to have everything pre-made, pre-ready and ready to go before I even get up. Like people go out of their way to go to Starbucks, to go out of their way to get coffee, to get breakfast on the way to work. Apparently, you know how many minutes are lost in line to get coffee, in line to get breakfast, in line to get something when all of that can be solved by doing it at home. And that's what a thinker does. They say, I'll solve the problem before I have the problem. See, I'm a big believer that time is important. And the more thinker you have, the more time you save. Just think about that. Let me say that again. I believe time is valuable. It's the most precious asset. Every time I waste time, it kills me inside. Internally, hurts my heart, hurts my emotions, hurts who I am. That's why I try to solve the problem. I try to think about a way to do it. Like if I were a coffee drinker, you wouldn't find me in line at Starbucks. I'd be making it at home. Why? Because I need to get the job done. I got to get to work. I got to get things done. If I needed breakfast in the morning, I'm not going to go wait at McDonald's or Whataburger or anywhere else. I'm just going to make breakfast. Why? Because I got to get the job done. Time is valuable for me, right? Very, very important. If I don't have to drive somewhere, I'm not going to. If I don't have to go somewhere, I'm thinking. For the last 2 years, I've been thinking about how can I never, ever show up to an office again? How do I do that? I got to think. I got to get the right people in place. I got to figure out how to manage those people. I got to give them the right tools. I got to empower them. I got to train them. I got to develop. This is a thinker. So I take courses on management, time management, course management, development, leadership, right? I'm not taking a course on how to clean my pool. I got a pool. I hate freaking cleaning that pool. Stupidest thing ever. By the way, it's stupid to buy a pool. We got to clean it. It's stupid, right? Every time I think about that pool, I'm like, what do I have to buy? Who do I have to train? What do I have to develop? Who do I have to get on my team? What do I got to do so I don't have to clean that damn pool anymore? And some people are like, I'm going to go clean the pool. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I'm a thinker, not a doer. I think. And you should be doing this too. So to end today, if you found yourself doing every day, you can turn that around very easily. All you have to do in order to turn it all around is to start thinking of ways instead of doing things, thinking of solutions to problems that you encounter versus asking for the solutions. Don't come to me and ask me to solve your problems. Your problems are your problems. You solve them. Don't come to me and ask me how to do your job. You should figure out how to do your job better. You should come to somebody like a leader in your company and make sure and validate you're doing your job correctly. You should never ask them, how do I do my job? You should validate, and validate often. That's how thinkers get ahead. They validate often. They ask the right people. Like every time I do something, I go to somebody that I really respect and knows it better than me, and I ask them, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Because I'm not following anybody's plan. I'm doing it myself. And that's why the problem becomes thinkers get ahead, is because they're doing things that aren't told to them. They're just doing it because it solves the problem. And then they validate it through somebody who does solve that problem just to confirm that they're on the right path. Doers just do it and they expect to get more. Never going to happen. A doer will always be paid what they're worth, which is exactly what they're worth, which is doing. A thinker will always get ahead because they're thinking of ways to solve problems. Problems equal money. Money is what is exchanged in order for you to get ahead in line. Now, I've been in this position so long of doing versus thinking that I'll tell you, whenever I think about doers and thinkers, I'm always feeling like I got to do less and I got to think more. I got to do less, I got to think more. I got to do less, I got to think more. And eventually there's going to be a point where I don't do very much, but all I do is think. People should pay me to think because that's where I'm the best. And they should pay you to think too. Like I think about that all the time. If you've got somebody who works on your team right now and they're somewhat of your right hand, they help you do things. They're maybe an assistant of some sort. If you got that in your team, it's probably because you're more of a thinker than you are a doer. You're more of a thinker than you are a doer. And if you're doing a lot, that means you're not thinking enough. Get that? If you're doing a lot, you're not thinking enough. If you're doing a lot, you're not thinking enough. And that's the biggest challenge most of us will face in the growth cycle. So if you like this content, if you're on here, if you got a question you want to say, I mean, how many doers do we got in here? Anybody want to admit it? Anybody want to think they're a thinker or a doer? Let me look at who's on here. I see it. Let me see all my beautiful people. Some of you guys are doing, some of you guys are thinking. I see a lot of you on here, and I'm hoping that most of you are thinkers, but the real truth is most people think they're thinkers, but they're really doers. They're really doers. If I had to tell you, the majority of people, 80% of people, 80%, let me close this, 80% of people are doers and the rest are thinkers. Just to be clear, 20% are thinkers. Becoming a thinker, Jeremiah, yes, that's the goal, by the way. If you're seeing yourself as a doer, then you must push to be a thinker. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I promise you. I've been in business for so long. I used to be a doer for a long time. When I wanted to make more money, I started to think about myself as thinker. Sometimes a doer, sometimes a thinker. Yeah. What if there are more thinkers than doers within a company? Well, every company needs doers. Every company needs doers, by the way. Every company needs doers. There needs to be a bricklayer. There definitely needs to be somebody who gets the tedious tasks done. The problem that you face is that you must have somebody who's thinking, leading them. And if you don't have a thinker in a leadership position and you have a doer in a leadership position, this typically happens when companies have seniority versus promotions versus we'll call it what it would be a promotion based on their thinking. That's probably a better way. If they're a thinker, they get promoted. And if they're there because of seniority and they get promoted and they're a doer, they're the wrong person to be in that position. So as long as there's a thinker involved, that should be something that we should do. Skill-based, yeah, they're skill-based people. They're definitely based. I can see skill-based people in the world, but here's what I'll tell you guys. In order for you and I to understand this a lot better, the way we got to do it is we got to question every activity that we do every single day so that we can determine if we're just doing or we're actually thinking. the best employees don't always make the best leaders. I do agree with that because some are very good doers, and every company needs doers. The thinkers are the ones that really need to be in a leadership position. And they may not believe it for themselves. I see that in people all the time. I'm not a leader. I'm not the right person. I'm not, and they have lack of self-confidence. And the reason that comes, and this could be another topic, is a lack of conviction in their understanding of what they're doing. And sometimes people are such great thinkers that they get lost in their ability to actually coach and teach, because leaders need to be a coach and a teacher and an influencer, and they must have the ability to think. Because I see that every day in what I do, and I see it from all the leaders that I associate with. They're very good thinkers, but they're also very good, communicators, and they get that job done. Let's see what we got. Some good comments today. Let's see what we got here. Thinkers are creative people, always open to new ideas that can change or improve the way things are done. Are people doers are who with the ability to execute actions? That's right. Doers are the ones ability to do actions. So creative people are. Whoa, what's that? Somebody talking? Oh, okay. So I believe that thinkers are creative people. I believe thinkers get that idea and they do something. They're like, I got to solve this problem. I got to figure something out. They're the ones who create the new promotion. They're the ones who create the new way, the new process for a company to follow. And the doers are the ones who get it done. There's nothing wrong with being a doer, just to be clear, but you cannot question. If you're a doer, you can't question. You can't say, well, gosh, I wonder why I'm just getting passed up for promotions. Oh, shoot, I wonder why I'm not getting ahead. I wonder why. Everybody needs to be a doer at some point in their life. So I'm not hating on it. I'm not getting mad at it. I'm just telling you, the more thinkers you have in a company, the more opportunity that company has. The more thinking ability that you provide to the company, the more opportunity you will have. Thinkers push the world to a different layer, another place. Like Elon Musk is a big thinker. He's a big thinker. He says, we're going to Mars. He doesn't work on the rockets or the jets. He doesn't go in to mess with the cars from Tesla. He gets the job done. He's like, I think for you guys go do. He's got a bunch of doers, but he hires thinkers and leaders. He's like, okay, I'm a big thinker. You're a little thinker. You're my sidekick, right? That's how I do it, man. I see it all the time. Big thinkers, baby. All right. So today is a good day for you to think about how do you become a better thinker? Maybe we'll have that as a topic. I'm very thankful for all of you and your engagement today. Doers and thinkers need to be out there. Now, there is a role for everyone, just to be clear. Don't think I'm talking crap about people who do. I'm just telling you, you can't complain about where you are if you're a doer. You're just going to get the job done. You go home, that's fine. Some people want that. If you really want to get ahead, you really, truly must become a thinker. That's how it works. I've seen it all my life, and I hope that works for you. Thanks, David. All right, man, I appreciate it, Jeremiah. This is a great time for you to go be thinking. I love you guys. Wishing you health, wealth, success, but most importantly, freedom. I'll see you next Tuesday, 9 a.m. CST. Thanks, guys.